Hi everyone, this is Paul Raphael and my beautiful, delightful co-host.
Hi there, Sarah Love.
So I teach spirituality, I write books, and I love discussing about spirituality. This is my favorite topic of all times. And we are today resuming second season 2 of the Back to Joy show. And as you can see, is Sarah Love and myself. And we're very much delighted to share with you the topic of today's show, which is inner peace. How to reach inner peace, how to find inner peace, especially in the midst of turmoil, in the midst of stress, in the midst of what we've been witnessing, over the last couple of weeks, in the world, and everyone, of course, can feel or somehow can maybe even wonder or ask themselves, has the world gone crazy? So we will be touching upon those topics and maybe do some angel readings as well, if anyone is interested. So how about you, Sarah? Has your summer been so far? Has been the last couple of weeks for you?
Yeah, it's been lovely, and just definitely, I think we talked about just going with the flow of the energies, and resting as we need rest, and honoring our bodies, and I feel like a lot of the energy this last maybe month or month and a half has been about releasing the old so that the new can come in. So it feels like that's kind of the shift of the energies lately. So just really doing that inner work and letting go of things that don't serve you, knowing that, maybe change, but it's in a good way. So
yes.
embracing that newness that's going to come in with, love and light type thing. So
yes. It's very interesting because for me as well, I can say that, it's been kind of a roller coaster the last couple of weeks, and again I've been reminded how important it is to ground my energy and to center myself and to come back to a place of inner peace, a place of inner stillness, and of course it's not always easy. It ain't easy, let me tell you that. There are times when you're being pulled and your fear can play tricks on you, and fear and fears, plural, and for me, I would say that it's been a beautiful experience, because I've been again, reminded how important it is to know that no matter what, your higher self or God or soul or whatever you want to call it always is working for you, is always in your back, and that you're always being assisted by a team of beautiful spirit, even though we cannot see them, or for most of us we cannot see them. We can have that kind of back-to-back dialogue as we would in the physical realm, but they are constantly sending us signs, constantly assisting us, and somehow the challenge is to, especially when you feel really the intensity of the fears, or when you feel that sadness, really, because I was listening yesterday or the day before, I was listening to Nadia Shah. She's an astrologer, and her motto all the time is the universe is love and wise. So the universe is loving and wise. That's basically her motto. And one of the statements she made really struck me, because she said that actually, many teaching explain that that the two forces at stake is love and fear. And somehow for her, she was saying actually the two forces are love and sadness. And I found that was very interesting, because actually she was explaining that actually many people don't necessarily feel fear, but they just feel sad.
Right.
Sad. And it really hit a chord in me, because I'm like, my teaching is based on joy.
Right.
And actually the opposite of joy is sadness.
Right.
In a way. And if you look at some if you read some teachings, some channeling teachings, especially, they're really explaining how somehow, you know, uh, how in spirit we are all feeling that bliss, that state of bliss, that state of unconditional love, that state of unconditional oneness with all that is. And that the process of birthing, the process of separating actually, or somehow, especially in physical matter, where you forget, that oneness, when you forget somehow, that state of bliss, does create a feeling of sadness, a feeling of, and that sadness is sacred because somehow that sadness is a longing.
Right.
That tells you that you're this is not your really home. This is
Right.
not, basically that's who you really are in a sense, and somehow, especially in the Western world where, so many of us, or at least the majority of us, have had access to a lot of, of worldly possessions, a lot of comfort, and if you compare to many parts of the world, we've
You
got
still
access.
there?
Yes. Oh, was I gone? Oh, yes. It says internet connection is stable. Am I back? I'm here.
Yeah, I
Yes.
see you now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Yes. So, so So what I was trying to explain is that, many people in the Western world feel sad, actually, because they lost the connection to their essence. And, I see also in the gay scene, especially, where so many men, so many guys are single, so many people are looking for partners. And not only in the gay scene, everywhere, you can see
Right.
so many people are feeling lonely. And I think that behind the loneliness, there is sadness. It's really a sense of sadness, and somehow, for me, one of the way to truly, I would say, I wouldn't say transcend, because I'm not sure we are here to transcend anything. I think that we are here to embrace, and we are here to accept, and we are here to integrate all those emotions within ourselves, and to even see the beauty in the sadness, to even see the beauty in the fear, to even see that all of those emotions hold a message for us, because they're there to tell us, okay, what did you forget? Forget, and I feel that, and when you can have that approach, you are actually, you're so almost like creating a third energy, what's being called the Christian energy, because you are actually transforming, physical matter, into gold. You're transmuting, the lead into gold, basically. And I feel that, it's an approach that can truly help you um, to go beyond duality, and to not judge your sadness, to not judge your darkness, to not judge your fears, but to realize that actually the reason why you're feeling afraid, is because, you lost touch with your true
Right.
love.
To that connection. And I pulled the card too when you were speaking, and I got simplifying your life, which is kind of getting rid of the clutter. And I feel like that, as within, so without. So, starting internally and just processing, all those emotions that are coming up, and,
Yes.
Why are they showing up, and really connecting in with it, and not, trying to push it away or get it out of your field, but really acknowledging that they're there.
Exactly. And that's something that is so human, that whenever you feel fear, whenever you feel anxiety, you want to push it away, and you want to say, I don't want to feel that. I don't want to go.
Yeah. Turn it off.
Yeah, exactly. which is human, which is normal, which is, it's understandable, because it feels yucky. It doesn't feel yummy, But the thing is, like, unless and until you will embrace it, it'll keep knocking at your door louder and louder and louder.
Oh yeah.
And that's the reason why, you know, the importance of practicing baby steps, you know, of having baby steps and observing your feelings and simply noticing them. You don't even need to comment on them, you know, you do just notice it, like, okay, I feel fear. Okay, I feel anger. Okay, I feel, you know, sadness. And it's important to say, you know, to me, it's like, you know, and I share this in my book, Sacred Joy, that whenever you state I am, it's one of the most powerful vibrations, because I am is the name of God. And I am 3 times, basically, is really the highest vibration there is. So it's very important that, you know, you pay attention to your language, because everything you state after I am is really you affirming a state of being. And state of being is what matters absolutely. State of being is what matters. Your circumstances do not matter. Your state of being does. In essence, that is the only truly measure of your growth, or your spiritual growth, is your state of being. How surrendered are you with life? How surrendered are you with the flow of life? Are you truly, you know, in alignment with the flow of God, or if you want to call it that, or if in the flow of the Christ energy, if you want to use that terminology as well, you know. So I am is really important, which is why, you know, whenever you say, oh, I am angry, or I am afraid, or the worst of it all, I am broke.
Oh, yeah. Don't say that one.
And we pay attention to language, your language. You know, right now, I don't have the cash in the bank. Right now, I feel anger. Right now, I feel sadness. This is what you feel. This is not who you are. So that's very essential, you know, to pay attention to your language, to pay attention to this world, you know, because every time you state I am, you are affirming a state of being, basically. So,
and I think too something, because I've been waking up sometimes, like I'll feel like almost like depression energy, you know, around me, and I'm like, that's weird, you know, I don't like everything in life's going really well. So I would just kind of notice it, and, you know, being empathic, which a lot of us are, I mean, we could be picking up emotions from other people. So if we're going to feel like, take on that, oh, I am depressed or I am sad, when it's not even really ours, I mean, that could be something very damaging. So
absolutely.
Just kind of, if we're able to step back and look at that energy and be like, okay, that's actually, that's not mine, you know, or that is mine and I can deal with it and then let it go type thing. So
yes, a great point, Sarah. Really beautiful, because that is so true, you know, especially for those of us who are very empath, when we can very easily pick up on all those people's energy. You know, it's extremely important to and that's the reason why, you know, it's paramount to start with baby steps, because when you start monitoring your own inner state and your own inner peace, you will basically feel and learn how to discern the difference between your own emotions and the collective energy field. Because, you know, what's important to realize is that there are always two energy fields at stake. There is your own energy field, and there is also your individual energy field, and there is a collective energy field, you know, that we all can feel and sense. And the more sensitive you are, the more empathic you are, you know, the more accurately or the more intensely you will feel, you know, what's going on around you. Hence the importance of finding that inner stillness, finding that inner calm within, finding that center. There cannot be peace without that center, without that centeredness, without you finding that point where you're fully within yourself, you're feeling your breath, you're feeling your body, you're really within your own energy field, which is what protects you and what helps you to basically, even to be surrounded by a fearful collective energy field, you can still remain in your center. Now, some teachings, some people, you know, will advise you, for instance, to imagine like a bubble, a pink bubble, or a bubble of gold, or a bubble of white light. That is one way to do it. You know, it can, you can have some sort of what Bashar called Bashar, that um, extract. Bashar is that ET entity that is being channeled by Daryl Anchor, which is really really cool. Actually, I really love this. And what they call those permission slip, basically. You
You
know.
froze again.
Oh, am I back?
Mercury in retrograde at its best.
Okay. I can hear you though, but I am back.
Are you there?
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm back. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So, Bashar called this a permission slip, basically, where you're somehow allowing yourself to connect to your higher guidance, and that's one way to do it. The interesting thing about one of the funny thing that was channeled by Bashar, like I said, which is this extraterrestrial entity, which is channeled by this guy called Daryl Anka. You can all check on Google, on YouTube. Is that we've been mentioning that from the fall of this year there's going to be huge changes coming up, and that nothing will be as it used to be. It hasn't been, usually when Bashar makes prediction, he always explain that this is based on they're always, first of all, predictions are always probabilities and not certainties, they're always probabilities, which are being basically, which is almost like it's almost like a read or the current state of energy, and then he gives a percentage of the likelihood of the events happening. And typically what was said is that with regards to disclosure, I said that that from the fall of this year, there's I think 80% likelihood that we will without a doubt find out about extraterrestrial life, and that somehow there might be a huge financial event happening. He says that it's likely to arise from China and Greece, and that somehow there are going to be probably also a lot of chaos in the United States somehow, which will inquire for some review of the tax system. And all of this is saying that basically those predictions were given 2 years ago, and then he was saying that that back then it was a good idea to get your energy, to get your vibration on board, basically, and to work with your vibration. And so, whatever. I mean, if you look also many blogs and whatnot, many announce like some sort of Bashar is not the only one, but a few. Do announce, some important events, that are due to happen, this fall. How is your take on that, Sarah? How do you feel about that?
Yeah, because I worked with the angels and kind of like how to, what is the purpose of all this? Because, of different beings coming in and actually us being more aware of kind of what's the Wizard of Oz, the man behind the curtain, and just really the truth unfolding out. But I think, Bashar is right of standing in our light and raising our vibration, and the higher that it raises, we're able to actually see the bigger picture of everything as it does collapse. And
yes,
and it is overall, as we're internally getting rid of a lot of the old, then that's going to move outwardly too. And so we're going to start seeing crumbling of, the financial system and the political system, and really just, but holding that light around it, that it's shifting and changing. So
yes.
where it may be very chaotic, and especially for a lot of beings that aren't fully awakened yet. So that's where we're standing in our light, kind of holding them too.
Yes. No, it's very true, very true. And the feel that I've been getting is that, since I think that was since August 8th, they say that there was the opening of the Lions portal. Basically, there's been an acceleration that has occurred, and by acceleration, that means that a lot of beings are awakening, at a very, very fast pace. And that acceleration actually causes for um, um, I mean, either it can be that there's going to be like a very sort of strong, um, collapse and rebuild of the system,
Mhm.
or it could also mean that the transition might go smoothly.
Right.
That basically, what is no longer serving, will basically, subside, and that new ideas, um, new way of doing business, new way of working, with one another maybe, emerge to the surface. And
Mhm.
um, but that being said, the old needs to go, because that ego-based, any structures based on ego-based energy, cannot be sustained anymore, and cannot, um, uh, cannot survive, that acceleration of energy, and that acceleration of light that is currently occurring on the planet.
Okay.
Mhm.
That's what they show too. It's like as the light expands, I mean, we're putting that light on all the areas that were once dark and we couldn't see. So it is allowing everything to be seen now. And as
Exactly.
we vibrate with more of that light, we kind of meld in with it versus kind of,
Yeah.
fighting.
Yes, exactly. And for some
Very
people,
powerful.
it's very powerful, because for some people, some people might think that, oh my God, the world is actually going crazy. But in reality, no. In reality,
We
the
can
light,
go.
the light is getting stronger, and therefore the darkness, is being revealed. And
Yeah.
everything that is still not in alignment, or if anything that is not, basically anything that is cleansing and it's purging, is being revealed, and is being brought up to the surface. And that's basically what's happening right now.
And I pulled this card too, Goddess of the Shadows.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. And then also we have Goddess of Strength. So,
Oh, yes.
just that reminder too, that just to, hold your light, hold your strength as going
Yes.
through it, and
Yes. Yes. Yes.
knowing that, yeah, it is bringing a
Mhm.
lot more than we know. So it's
Yes.
actually
Yes.
really exciting.
It is, and the things, one of the, I think one of the message I've been also reminded lately is that, many of us sometimes feel like we don't do enough. Many of us
Mhm.
feel like we could do more, or it's in the doing. But actually, I'm constantly being reminded, by the Christ energy, it is not your doing, it is your being.
Exactly.
Shra and Mary Magdalene keep reminding me over and over again. It is not your doing, it is your being
Right.
first. You know,
Yeah.
once your being is in alignment, once your state of being, is in true connection with your, with who you really are, with your soul, with your Christ self, then the doing automatically flows. Then the doing automatically happens. But what's primary is your state of being. And there's many people right now on the planet for who their primary job is simply to hold that light, as you just said, to hold that
Mhm.
vibration, to simply, be peaceful. And there's many people out there that don't even know it, they're not even aware of it, but just the fact for them of walking in the street or just going to walk in the mall, is enough, because just with their vibration of peace, they will basically, bring that peace around themselves, around, and people will feel it, because we are always connecting with our heart. It's not from the head, it's the heart center, basically, that is the true vessel of connection. And simply walking in a room, or simply walking to people, sometimes it can just be a smile, sometimes it can just be a look, and that is enough.
Mhm.
Because then the transmission, because everything is energy and everything is transmission of energy, so that by simply your state of being, you can transmit that peace, to anyone who is ready for it, or to anyone who can benefit from it, and they will just feel it, and that is enough.
It is.
Some other people, are being asked to go more to the forefront, like you and I, Sarah. Some are
Mhm.
being asked to speak up, and to teach others, and to lead others. Sometimes people don't like the word teach, you prefer share. That's fine.
Right. Yeah.
But whatever terminology you want to use, but in essence, you know, whether you're a teacher, whether you want to call yourself a teacher, or whether you want to call yourself a guide, or, you know, some sort of guru, if you want to use that terminology. Whatever you do, the only thing you actually that happen is the transmission of energy. That's all there is. Transmitting a vibration of energy. You're transmitting an energy of the solution. And only if the receptor is ready, then they will open up to that energy. Then they will say, oh, you know, I need this, or I'm ready for this. And then they will open their heart to that transmission, and then the change will occur. The change will happen on its own accord, of course.
Right. Yeah. And they're even, I mean, they're showing too, even like during as we sleep, you know, we're doing stuff too. And if we wake up feeling really exhausted, that may be why. So, you know, on many different levels where we may not even be aware of, we are working, you know, as light.
Absolutely, definitely.
And then even that candle imagery where, you know, one person lights the candle and then another one, you know, kind of expands the light that way too. So like you said, if you just, they're energetically holding it and walking through a store, it's like they're lighting everybody's candle. And even if it takes some time to kind of move down into their consciousness, it will eventually do so.
Exactly. You know, and again, you know, what's very essential to remind ourselves is that love, joy, you know, light, that never pushes, it never forces. You know? It only shines, it only is, and all it is that it simply, you know, waits for us to open ourselves to it. You know, and of course there are times when light can be fierce, it can be sharp, and it can be what, you know, what Eckhart Tolle called the sword of consciousness. And most of the time, you know, that happens when sometimes it needs to cut through the veil of illusions, you know, and probably, you know, maybe what we might be experiencing in the coming months might be because of that. Maybe the experience of it will feel like this, like a sword, being a sword, you know, cutting through the illusions, and it's a sword of light, basically, that is there to help us, you know, simplify, you know, to pull that card, to help us simplify our life. You know, I myself recently been going through that process, and still I'm going through that process, or simplifying my life, you know, making it simple, you know, and trying to, of course, I enjoy nice things, I enjoy beauty, I enjoy quality, but I also realize that before, back in the days, I kept to accumulate things and to buy things, not necessarily for the enjoyment of it, but just because, you know, it's there, so I've got to have it, you know?
Right, yeah.
And now I'm realizing more and more that it's not that you have to have it. Actually, what you're looking for is the experience of. You know, you're actually looking for the beauty of it. But there are in many ways, we are accumulating things and getting things. And then we're being after, you know, we've got those cupboards and houses and storage full of stuff.
Right, storage, yeah.
And then you're going things, and then after it's too much, and then you have to give things away, and then or you have to leave things, you know, to some different places. You know, right now I don't really have a home, so I've got things scattered all over. You know, and to be frank with you, I mean, I don't miss those things.
Right. Yeah, you don't. I mean, you can sleep at night without them, right?
Yeah, you know, I don't miss those things. You know, I mean, of course, or when I need to sleep, of course, I like to sleep with a nice bedspread, you know, and a nice bed, of course, you know.
Right. Those are important.
Exactly, you know, but you know, I think, you know, many of us, you know, somehow, you know, need to, at least could definitely benefit from simplicity.
Oh yeah. And it's a reflection of your inner world too. So
yes.
Got a lot of clutter. I mean, to do some inward cleaning.
Exactly. You know, so but you know, I'd like to share, you know, with the listeners that, you know, one of the mantra that I keep saying, you know, a lot when I wake up and sometimes during the day is I am grounded, present, and centered with every cell of my being. I am grounded, present, and centered with every cell of my body. to
That's
remind me
beautiful.
to really anchor the light within my body. We are here to anchor the light within. We're not here to transcend things. We're not here to leave the body. We are here
Mm-hmm.
to bring the light in. We are here to anchor the light in from above, so that we can transmute. Basically, we can share the light, and we can dance with the light, and uh, we can finally truly experiment this planet, this earth, from a state of enjoyment, from
Mm-hmm.
and excitement, from a state of enthusiasm, from a state of cooperation, from a state of dancing with one another. And when you start to, if you really do dance, for those of you who've been dancing, I mean, it is challenging at first because you need to learn and you need to hold good at bar and you have to go and work.
Right. Yeah.
So for those of you who feel like it's boring, well, let me tell you that you got to work.
So true.
So it's like when you work out. I mean, it's like a muscle. You got to pump it up. You got to
Yeah.
exercise that muscles, and take baby steps, and so that's really important, to especially in those times, to remind yourself to ground the energy, to remind yourself to be gentle with
Mm-hmm.
yourself, to remind yourself to that anytime you feel a judgment towards another, it's a judgment you have upon yourself,
Mm-hmm.
and that judgment upon yourself needs also to be look at it with kindness,
Mm-hmm.
to um, to truly practice compassion. Compassionate, what Ramdas called loving awareness.
Right.
Loving awareness, and in the last couple of weeks, I've been reminded again of that, in my own life, to practice that loving awareness, to practice that loving compassion, knowing that there is always a greater force at work, and that
Mm-hmm.
we don't always know, we don't always need to know. Um, all we can do is to trust that greater life force is always working for us, not against
Mm-hmm.
us.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
And standing in that love and joy, and
Yes,
yeah, it may be a journey of ups and downs, but we'll get through it, and it'll be a positive one at the end.
yes, and usually those downs, are there also to they've got their own messages, they've got their
Mm-hmm.
own significance, and you know I I really know now that especially in those moments where you feel sad, where you feel lonely, where you feel, why this is happening, that's
Mm-hmm.
when you really need to exercise the muscle. That that's when you can that's when you can use the muscle that you've been building,
Mm-hmm.
as baby
Yeah.
steps,
Yeah.
and that's when that muscle will come handy, because then you will know, oh, okay, I'm going through turbulences right now, but I know that this is just a phase. I know
Mm-hmm.
that, whatever is happening right now has a purpose.
Exactly.
I don't know why. I cannot see the reason why I'm going through that tribulations and trials. I cannot see why I'm going through that hardship, but there is a higher purpose behind this.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then that can give you the confidence to accept it, and that is really the healing factor, the healing agent, is full
Mm-hmm.
acceptance and full surrender, and then you transmute, the
Mm-hmm.
gold.
Yeah. Absolutely. And then I feel too, what's kind of coming up is if people are feeling, lonely and don't have their muscle built up as much, reaching out to the show and, our close friends and family, and, really, and sharing your emotions so that they're not
Yes.
in there and you're feeling lost and can't get through it too.
Yes.
It's important to reach
Yes.
out to other people.
To reach out to other people, absolutely, and sometimes also, find what Bashar called permission slips, like, it can be a little amulet, or it can be like a little mantra, you know, the mantra I shared with you, I am grounded, centered, and present, you know, or maybe to have a little prayer, or maybe go for a walk in the park, or to have a ritual, to have a bath with candles. That's very, very good, you know, like bath, if you're blessed to have a bathtub, you know, with salt and candles around, you know, that's when spirit also can be very, very present, you know, with you. So all those sort of means to connect to your higher self, to connect to your essence, connect to your joy essence.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. So would you like to pull some cards for us? I mean,
yeah. Let's see what else is kind of coming up here. Okay, so I got planting seeds. So basically, and also, yeah, that has been kind of a common message coming in too, just what do you want to create, you know, and as we are clearing out everything that hasn't served us, what do we want to bring forward now, especially with the new moon that just happened. Was it last week? Yeah. And just, you know, planting those seeds so that they can grow into beautiful dreams.
Yes. Oh, wonderful. I really love that. Yes. And what would you say, how do you look at the coming US election?
The circus? No.
The circus, yes, the animal circus.
Yeah. I feel like it's kind of a collective choice, you know, and what we want to usher and bring in. And it does feel like kind of like the falling of the political system, you know, and really we want a better offering, someone who supports us and honors us as a, you know, as a nation. And I think that's being kind of seen right now, where it doesn't seem like anyone's really holding that up, you know.
Yes.
And I think it just kind of is up to the collective and, you know, up to the United States and what do we really want to create? And we can, you know, feel like, oh, we don't have a choice and sit back, but really it's like stand up, you know, in our honor and our power. And I want someone different. I want something different. Yeah. And this is not working. It's out of hand.
Yes. Oh, I like that. I really love that. You know, it's interesting when you see like someone like Justin Trudeau in Canada, you know, and how you know, admirative people from all over the world are, you know, and that, you know, they're like, wow, I mean, you know, if they could have this. Are you there? Yes.
Yeah.
If we could have, you know, if the US could have, you know, someone like that, you know, how it would be. I mean,
it's needed. And I think we're all ready, you know, but I think it's kind of getting past that kind of that victim mentality too, and saying like, no, enough's enough. And, you know, we do want someone who can stand for us and not you know, secretive and just kind of silly BS stuff that's been going on. So, but yeah, I think it's up to us and really making that change and standing in the light, and, you know, and I think we don't have to make it a hard thing. It is, you know, simplifying and honoring ourselves, and then also speaking up for ourselves too. So.
Yes, very true. Beautiful. So, all right. Well, I don't know, any parting message you would like to share?
No, I think just kind of an overall, you know, simplifying our life right now. Let's kind of go through the cards we got in the messages and just going with the flow and, you know, really honoring our emotions and, you know, what's coming in and just kind of seeing the bigger picture of it, not getting thrown in. If you do, it's not, you know, nothing wrong. It does happen to the best of us.
Yes.
But just honoring, your journey, and as things come up, just knowing that it's allowing you to, you know, come up stronger and stand in your strength and dream big. You know, I mean, we are again the times now where we get to manifest bigger and better than ever before. So I think that's exciting. That's true.
Yes, it feels to me like there's, at least in my own life, I can feel there's really a huge acceleration of the manifestation. I definitely feel more connected as well, and empathically as well, you know, to other people. And to me, it feels like my sense of intuition has been heightened as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. A lot of people will be getting it. Like, whoa, what's going on?
Yes,
I can see things.
yes, yeah, absolutely, and I feel like I don't know, but I feel there's been a shift. There's been really an energetic shift that's been occurring in the last couple of weeks. It was a bit intense at first. Gradually, it got like lighter and lighter and lighter. Now it feels like like now I know, like, okay, that now since I've been simplifying my life as well lately, I feel like I'm ready now to really put my full focus on what it is that I want to do, which is to share teachings, to do more writing, and to be in a space of state of being, of joy, of peace, of aliveness, yes, of enjoying life, and sharing that joy with my fellow humans.
Yeah, wonderful. It's beautiful.
Yes. So maybe we can conclude with a nice little meditation.
Yeah, absolutely.
So would you like to lead us?
Yeah. So everyone just close their eyes and hands on your heart.
I like that.
Nice deep breath in. And then exhale out. And then, we are going to move into our heart space here. And we're going to ignite our light within. So we can envision it as like a candle or a light bulb, whatever works best for you. And turning on the light. And lighting the candle within your heart space. And then allowing this light to expand into your entire heart space. And then expand even more into your upper chest, lower chest, entire body now. Light's expanding. And as it's expanding, it's just bringing more loving energy in, and releasing anything that doesn't serve you, that you do not need. Expanding now into your energetic field, your aura. Removing any stagnant energy, any blocks, and just filling it with that love, that light, that joy, that peace. And expanding it even wider now. Expanding it into the space that you're in, your room. Expanding it into your entire city, your country, and now the earth. That little light within is now expanding all around Earth, connecting all beings, all animals on this planet with love, with light, with joy, with peace, compassion and kindness. Knowing that you are very grateful to feel this energy now. Knowing how expansive you are, how needed you are, how wonderful you are as well. You do have a purpose in this place, and honoring that. And taking a deep breath in. And then pulling your energies back in within yourself, within your heart. When you can expand out as needed, or connect into your inner light as needed. And when you're ready, go ahead and open up your eyes.
Oh, thank you. That was beautiful. I really pictured it and visualized it. That was wonderful.
Yeah. They're like a heart expansiveness, so.
Yes, absolutely. So, all right, everyone. So thank you so much for joining us. This was the episode 1 of season 2, the Back to Joy Show. And we're most definitely looking forward to share with you as well some loving wisdom next week. Can you remind us of the time, Sarah?
Yes, so Tuesdays at 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern Time.
And 9 p.m. European time. All right. So thank you so much, everyone. And we love you for watching. And again, feel free to comment, like, subscribe to our YouTube channel, our page as well, the Back to Joy Show. Namaste and see you next Tuesday. Bye-bye.
Bye.